Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the shop here at Markelly Farm. We just got through hoeing around out in the garden, and it's an absolute gorgeous day here today. And we're going to put the final touches, finishing touches on Cubby this morning, and then he'll be all done. And we got a parade coming up tomorrow, so Cubby's going to be in the parade along with the wagon. So stick around, let's get this done. So all we had left on Cubby is the headlights and the rear work light, and then we also painted the hand crank here. And then we ordered in some parts. We needed new reflectors for the lights and new gaskets for the lights. So that has come in also. So we're going to get these lights put together, and then we'll get Cubby out of the barn and install them. First thing we're going to do is clean our lenses really good inside and out. Got some good glass cleaner. Doesn't do any good to get new reflectors if your lenses are dirty. There we go, folks, like brand new. Okay, first thing we need is one of these reflectors. You can see how much better these are than the old ones. Nice and shiny. So we have the old light bulbs. They appear to be still good. So what we're going to do, got a little bit of sandpaper. We just roughed this surface up on the bottom post here a little bit in case it was corroded. And then we're going to put our light bulb in. Both of the posts on the light bulb are the same height, unlike the, I think it's the 1157 bulb. This is just a single element bulb, so it doesn't matter which way it goes in. So you just have to line it up with the slots, push it in and turn it, and it's in. The next thing we got to do is we got to connect this wire, which is our power wire, to the inside of the cup. Goes through here, right here. The ground for the light comes through the post. So let's get this screw loose in here. Looks like it may be already loose from when we took it off. Let's loosen it a little bit more. And then we can slip that wire in there. And then we tighten it up. Now when we tighten it on the screw, we want to go back and forth a few times when it gets tight to make sure we make good connection. And then you can see we're connected inside the light. Now the reflector has a little tab on it right here, and that tab goes in this notch right here on the bottom of the light housing. Not quite lined up. There we go. Now we're in there. Just like that. So we're flush all the way down in there. So now comes the gasket. And the gasket kind of goes over the top of the rim of the light and hooks over into this groove here. And then the gasket has a seam in it right there with a staple through. So we're going to put that on the bottom. So if we get any leaks or anything, they'll be on the bottom down here. Once the outer cover is on, it shouldn't matter too much. But it just seems like we should do it that way. So we'll start putting our gasket on all the way around. And with your fingers, just kind of go around, hold it in the slot. And then you're going to need to start pulling it over the edge once you get around a ways. So now you can see that we're pretty well seated all the way around. If it's not, just go through and bump it around and adjust it a little bit until it feels like it's all the way in the groove. And then there we go. So now what goes on is our clean lens. It goes on over the top of this, just like that, and that seals everything up. And then this ring goes around the gasket and around the lens. I'm wondering if this lens goes inside the gasket. Let's give that a try. Now the lens has top marked on it. So let's try to push that into the gasket. Doesn't look like it really goes. So we're going to go on top of the gasket. So just like that. Let's get our screw loose on our ring. Probably have to take it all the way out. That way we can open this up. What are you dogs going after over there? All right. Line up the top again. Open our ring up. Like that. Make sure we're over top of that lens. And I'm wondering if we can get our screw started. Gonna be close. Okay, got our screw started. Want to make sure we're over the lens, and we are. And then we're just going to tighten this down until it's fairly tight. About like that. And then that lamp is back together. So all we got to do is mount it to the tractor and hook the power wire to it. So I'm going to do the other two lights, and then we'll go get Cubby out of the barn, and we'll get him put back together. Now we ran into an issue with one of our lenses. It's got some kind of blemish on here. It looks like rust or something. And I believe it's on the outside, or maybe it's a little scratch. So what you can do with that, get a little bit of toothpaste. And I know most toothpaste is white, but this is some fancy toothpaste that Kelly buys. And toothpaste has a little bit of abrasion to it. That's how it cleans your teeth. So we'll put that on there. And then we'll get a dry piece of shop towel. And then we're going to just kind of polish in a circular motion here. You could probably use a light rubbing compound also. So we'll see if this works. I've done it before on some stuff and it worked good. So it looks like 99% of it is gone. You got one little like scratch there, and that's not going to come out. But the whole rest of that brown blemish is gone. So that works. Got all three of our lights assembled, and don't they look marvelous? Really do. Pretty. So let's go get Cuppy out of the barn. We'll get these put on the tractor and wired up.
Dogs. Papa is driving the tractor to the barn over here. So he's going over there. Gonna park in there because he's putting new headlights on it. So it's gonna be super cool.
Okay, we're gonna put our rear work light on first. So we have our wire. I think I'm going to leave this wire just a little bit long in case we need it a little longer in the future. So let's trim this down a little bit. We don't need quite so much. About right there. So this is like 12 gauge wire. So we'll strip this back. Twist it up nice. Ruby! Well, sorry about that. The garbage truck showed up and Ruby freaks out when anybody comes in the driveway. And she bolted past my camera, knocked it over. She does that a lot. She even does that with me when I like move in the kitchen. She'll get scared and just bolt. Crazy. I don't know what kind of trauma she had in the past that's causing that. Alright, we've got our connector on there. We've got a little shrink material that we're going to put over that connector and over the end of our tape here. You probably don't need to do this, but it looks a lot cleaner when you do. And it kind of protects your connector up here a little bit. There we go. So now we got our heat gun here. We're going to hit it with some heat. That should shrink that right up. And we have our bracket. All it is a post. So it's adjustable. So let's pull these two screws out of here. We got red paint on them. I don't know if the red paint's going to last on them, but we'll see. Okay, now we got our bolts on. Like I said, we're going to work both of these back and forth. Make sure we get a good ground. So that should do it. We'll go ahead and do it to the other one as well. Okay, we got our light over here. So I think we're going to make our wire connection first, because once the light's mounted, the screw's not so easy to get to back there. Probably going to lose a little paint going on, but that'll make sure we get a good ground too. We'll go just to the end here, so whatever paint we lost is inside. So let's rotate this light up to where it needs to be. So get a couple wrenches and we'll tighten that up. Alright, for this process we need a 13/16 wrench and also a 3/4 inch wrench. Tighten this onto that bracket. And hopefully that lock washer making good contact with everything. There we go. Now if we need to rotate that light down later, we can, but I think we'll get a wide enough beam where that'll be okay. So our rear work light is done. Let's get the headlights going. So these headlights, there's a left and a right. Obviously this is the left. Now, for some reason you wanted to hang them that way, you could, but the proper way is to hang them this way. There's a threaded adapter in here that matches this thread. So we're going to take this about halfway in. That's where it was before. And the light's on the back, so we can easily do that later. So we'll get this thread started. We straightened out this hood because this was a little crooked before. So we'll spin this in until we're just about there. Got a lock washer in here, and this is a jam nut, so you can lock your light into any position you want. And then if you want to turn your headlight, you would loosen this nut down here, and then you could turn your headlight that way. Looks like we're going to have to do that because we're a little crooked. So that's probably about as far as we need to go. So let's go get a wrench and we'll tighten up this jam nut and we'll be good. Now this nut is a 1-inch size nut. And then I want to make our lights pretty much vertical. So that looks good. We'll just tighten this jam nut down. And I think our lock washer is going to make good connection because, again, we want to make a good ground connection. There we go. So we'll come back later, we'll loosen this and straighten our headlight out. Well, I'll put the other one on, then we'll get the wiring. Lights are mounted, all done. Cubby is complete. Got one of the old reflectors here. You can see why we replaced it. That wouldn't work too well. So next thing we need to do is see if these babies light up. Contact. Well, we got one. These lights have a bright and dim setting. You got no light in the back or on the left side. So we're going to check the ground and the power on both of those. Make sure we have both. If we do, it's just the bulb. And our Napa store's probably got the bulb for these. So the rear light, we have no ground between the stud on the light and the tractor. So we're going to have to work all of these metal connections. We may take this bracket off right here and sand the inside of those two brackets to get us a metal to metal connection on those. So we pulled our bracket off, and on the inside we took the paint off, so we're metal to metal, bracket to bracket. And I tested both sides of these bolts. We have ground through both, but when I check the post coming out of the light that goes into this bracket, I'm not getting any ground to this post. So we're losing ground either through this clamp here, or we're losing ground through these nuts. So we're going to take this loose now, make sure we got a metal to metal connection there to where we have a ground. So we wiggled that around quite a bit. We're metal to metal now. Let's give it a try. Yep, just the ground. So we'll get that grounded and tighten it up, we'll be good. All right, we're good to go. So we've got the whole lighting system ran down. We just need a bulb, which is what we believe is going on with this light over there. And we don't need lights for the parade. These are mounted so you can see them on here. So we'll get that fixed. Doesn't even have to be today, but we'll run into town and get it. Only thing we have left is there's a little metal wire bracket that goes on our battery cable and our cable that goes to the back for the rear light. And it holds the cables over against the housing of the tractor there to keep the clutch pedal from rubbing on it. So we're going to put that back in there. We got it painted yesterday. This is what it looks like here. Just goes on those cables. We'll squeeze it back down flat, and then there's a hole there that the little bolt goes through. Got our little wire holder installed. We put our crank handle here in the clips. So we're all done, parade ready. Just got to give Cubby a bath because he's got a little dusty from being in the barn uncovered. So we're going to get her outside a little bit later, get her ready to load up for the parade tomorrow. All right, we've been to town and we found our headlight bulbs. Had to go to 3 different auto parts store. CarQuest was the one that eventually had it. It's equal to a GE 1133 is what this is if you're interested. So time to get things loaded up. Well, it is a beautiful day for a parade. We took the wagon down last night, so we only had to make one trip this morning. Got Cubby all loaded up. Look at that beautiful tractor right there. That's just as sexy as could be right there. So we're going to get the trailer buttoned up here, get the ramp up, and we can get on the road. Well, we're all lined up. The girls are 35 in the order, and I'm number 36. We're right behind them. And it's going to rain on our parade, I think. Got my umbrella out. It'll be interesting. The parade this year is Mardi Gras themed. I got my Mardi Gras beads. You know, parades never start on time, but when it's raining, I wish they'd step it up a little bit. These girls are being real troopers, though. They're getting soaked. Well, it looks like we might have a little break coming. Hope so. A pony wagon. Got a Farmall A behind me. Nice looking rig. Well, it's like an hour late, but finally starting to see a little movement. I only put 3 gallons of gas in Cubby here. I'm pretty sure we'll make it all the way through. We're just idling. But they've waited so long it's going to start raining again. We had a nice little break. Well, the parade is over. I apologize. We didn't get a lot of footage of the parade. My hands were busy throwing candy and beads and driving the tractor, and it was crazy. And then right at the end of the parade, we started getting thunderstorms. The lightning was cracking all around us. We had to load up and get going. We got Cubby back there on the trailer. Ramona, did you have a good time even though it was raining?
Yeah.
She stayed dry here in the truck with her GG, and they were throwing candy and beads out of the pickup with the wagon on the back. The girls did a good job dancing, but parade is over, so we're going to get Cubby back home. We have a birthday party to go to. Well, we got to our birthday party and we got back home. Had to go pick up the wagon. And if you're like me, you didn't get to see this thing all together. So we're going to show you. So there she is, all together. Cubby in the wagon. Pretty cool unit right there. Next parade's going to be the Christmas parade. We'll have the wagon behind Cubby, so that'll be cool. So let's do a couple rounds for you. We'll do your own little parade so you can see Cubby in action pulling the wagon. Looks like there's something hiding in the wagon too. I think she likes it. Alright folks, we had our little parade. Is that fun riding in the wagon?
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool, huh? So we got everything put away, got all the road grime washed off. Had a good day all in all. It was a long day. So we're saying goodbye to Ramona tomorrow.
It's really sad.
Yeah, she's leaving on a jet plane.
Oh, sorry.
But I do know when she's going to be back again. So hope you enjoyed the video. Cubby's officially done. We had a real fun time putting this project together. Thanks so much to my buddy Matt for coming out. He didn't do it just to come out to do that. He came out for vacation, but he saved us a lot of money on a rebuild just by finding that stuck valve. And had some questions for him along the way as well. And thanks to T&M Tractors for all the parts deliveries. They would get them here within a couple days. They're a fantastic outfit. I'll put the link to their website if you're a Cub owner. They do nothing but Farmall Cub stuff, and they have everything. So we're going to end it here. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here at the farm.
Thanks for watching. See you next year.